if Vin Diesel were to watch this movie, he would be proud. Because at the core, at the center of this movie, it's all about family. Shazam, he takes a large stick and makes his, my siblings, his foster siblings, hold his ginormous stick, and then he makes them say some weird words, and then they get superpowers. Sounds much creepier than it really is, doesn't it? Yeah, so Shazam, I hated the first one. It's not Munye, but I feel like everyone hated the first one. It was so silly, and you could see Zachary Levi she muscle suit. Chuck is not that buff. We know Chuck is not that buff. They should have done better. But anyways, the second one, it's better now, because you can see Fuji. There's no way he could have gotten that buff in the short space of time. Plus, banana reporter. In the Jimbo for the Google, I'm going to talk about top 10 buffest men for upcoming movies. Not good. I'm busy looking at men who are buff for movies, but anyways, I am complaining. Google, stop, please, stop putting these things on my feed. I don't like them. Anyways, so you can see with African muscle suit, but it's much better now. It's better, well made. It's better made so that you think maybe his body's not buff. Anyways, so this movie story actually very a little underwhelming, not well cooked, really, not well cooked, but it's so much better than the first one. So I think that's the problem that we would face, because if you compare, look for some shatter. If you compare Chinchino Shatter and Chinchino Shatter's none relative to each other, this other thing tastes so much better, right? Chino, but when I don't talk about specific brands. But what I'm saying is that if something is not as bad as another, it does not take away the fact that it's bad. It just makes it relatively better than the other one. That's what happened with Shazam. Underwhelming storyline, still has the same silliness at its center, and it changed something. I'm going to talk about it. The Wizard was was a cornerstone of seriousness in this movie. He was the guy who was making these kids touch his stick. Now, I like the fact that he was serious, right? And then this movie comes along and then sillies him up. What James Gunn is really doing is he's taking Marvel and putting it into DC. I'm sure you might have seen trailer of Blue Beetle. It's bright, it's in your face, right? It's not amazing. He looks like a Power Ranger in his form. But what I'm saying is that it's become brighter. I loved me a dark DC, though I hated me a dark DC, because Bandagana Wonder Woman 1984, the entire fight Yakina Cheetah, I saw nothing except sound. They were in the water, and I thought they were in the air. Oh, they're fighting, because the whole time I was like, wow, there's two female playing around. But anyways, back to the story. Shazam, undercooked storyline. Casting as numbers, they replace that woman, make her younger. I like young women, so that's okay. But otherwise, it's not an amazing movie. So yay, because Panos we have a unicorn, and then they feed the unicorns candy, and I'm just there watching, and I'm like, okay. And also Megan Good, beautiful, good, Megan Good, being nice and silly, which it's not really a good thing, because we're not all looking for docile people, right? And I like me a good, strong, smart woman who is virtually non-existent in both Marvel and DC, because Gal Gadot comes into this movie. I don't know what they did there. I don't think she was there. I think she now Gal. Here is where Zachary Levi and the rest of the people are going to be standing. Iwewe, speak as if you're talking to them. And then she got there, and then she was like, oh, you were dead, now you're alive, I'm a god, see you in the next movie. Then she left, and I'm just wondering, was this necessary? Like, Shazam, he dies. Yes, he dies. Doesn't matter really. It was way better than what DC did with Jane Foster, because Kufawa Jane Foster was like a footnote. Oh yeah, and by the way, Jane died so that we could see Heimdall again, which was amazing. I think she died for the greater good. We wanted to see Heimdall. but he died. I don't really know why he died though. He died so that the final fight would mean something. Yes, he died so that the final fight would mean something. Anyways, it was rife with bad jokes, a few good jokes, but family at the core. Family at the core. In any DC, I said yet bounced back. That's the fact. DC has not yet bounced back. It's now just making mediocre movies. It's on the same level as some of the bad Marvel stuff that's coming out right now. So yeah, we're like, oh no, Marvel sucks, because Marvel, we hold it to a higher standard, and then we're like DC, we're like, oh wow, for DC this is pretty good. It's like if your child and in 2 years says something weird that sounds kind of like a word, then you're like, wonderful, my child can speak now. But if it's me, then you're like, wow, he's doing drugs again. But that's how it is. It's really not an amazing movie. It's not great. It's not nothing. It's pretty underwhelming in, considering Kuti. I'm feeling like they should be building up better. But at the same time, it's so much better than the first one, because this one actually has a story that will actually make you want to watch it. It actually has characters who are acting as if they want to be in the movie, but it's really more or less predictable and could have done a little bit better, just a step better. But I understand what James Gunn is going for. I understand the vision that he might be aiming for, but I'm just afraid giving us Blue Beetle might not be as great as he intends it to be. But for The Flash, I'm all up for it. So, Vin Diesel, I'm sure Vin Diesel got movie of cinema. He was very happy. I tweeted him last week. He agreed, it's about family. And I'm still not going to go and watch Fast and Furious on cinema because I don't like Fast and Furious.